The alarm clock didn't ring this morning because for the first time in years, I woke up before it. 5:30 a.m. Bright sunlight streaming in through my window. It was going to be one of those days. The kind of day where everything that could go wrong did. First off, I had an assignment due in class that I hadn't finished. I started working on it last night. But then I got distracted by a YouTube rabbit hole and forgot all about it until I was half asleep and my teacher was already standing at the front of the classroom talking about how only 2 people in the class had actually done it. That got me really embarrassed and angry. Embarrassed because I hadn't done it, but also angry at myself for not finishing it. I was gonna ace that thing when I turned it in, even if it meant I wouldn't get any sleep. But then after class, the principal announced that there was going to be a fire drill and we all had to evacuate the building. While we were standing outside waiting for the fire trucks to come and check if there really was a fire, I noticed a couple of guys from my math class staring at me and whispering to each other. One of them even took a picture of me and posted it on Snapchat with the caption, "Class was so boring today." And while I'm not normally insecure, this really got to me. Like, why would he do that? Why would he jeopardize his grade on a group project just to make fun of me? And then the worst part is I had to walk past him on the way back to class. And he and his friends were all sitting there, pretending to be busy doing nothing. The bell rang and I hurried to my next class, which happened to be next door to the principal's office. As I was walking down the hall, I saw her open the door and walk out. She was carrying a big stack of papers and she tripped over my foot and sent all the papers flying. Now, this is where I made my first mistake. Instead of helping her pick up the papers, I stood there awkwardly trying to figure out what to say. And she didn't seem to notice me at first. She was just standing there looking at the papers all over the floor. So I cleared my throat and said, do you need help? She looked up at me and gave me the most disgusted look I've ever seen before, saying, "No, I don't need your help." Then she shuffled away without even looking back, and I wasn't going to let it go. So on my way out of the building, I went into her office and knocked on the door. "Come in," she said without even looking up from her computer. Hi. I just wanted to ask if you need help picking up those papers in the hallway." She finally looked up at me, and I swear she was trying to kill me with her eye. "No, thank you. But maybe you can help by getting rid of these." She pushed a huge pile of red papers across her desk towards me. What are these?" I asked, knowing full well what they were. She just stared at me. "They're your assignments, aren't they?" I said. "I turned them in last week." "Yes, you did," she replied, "and I haven't had a chance to grade them yet. It turns out that instead of giving me a 0 on the assignment like I expected, she decided to fail me outright. I think she was just trying to scare me into doing better on the next assignment. But it actually had the opposite effect. Now I was determined to get back at her. So during 4th period, I went to the bathroom and splashed water on my face and tried to calm down. I knew that I shouldn't feel this way, but I couldn't help it. I felt like my whole school career was crashing down around me. If I got expelled, I would never get into college. My parents would be disappointed in me. I would never have enough money to buy a house or a car. I would be doomed to live under a bridge for the rest of my life. When I came out of the bathroom, one of my friends stopped me and asked what was wrong. I told him about the fight with my teacher, and he just laughed and said, "Dude, just ignore it. She's been like that for years. No one likes her. You'll be fine." He was right. And even though I was still mad, I knew that I had to keep my cool. 5th period was history, and I knew that my teacher was going to ask me to read something aloud. History class was always the same. We'd read about some battle or war that happened 200 years ago. Then our teacher would ask us to read the names of the people who died, and I was pretty sure that my name was on that list. As soon as class started, my teacher said, "Today we're going to read about the Battle of Hastings." And then she turned to me and said, "David, would you please read the names of the fallen soldiers?" I panicked. This couldn't be happening. Not today. I tried to speak, but my voice wouldn't come out. I started to sweat, and my heart began racing. Was this what it felt like to be hunted? "Are you all right, David?" my teacher asked. I forced myself to take a deep breath. "Yes, I'm fine," I lied. But as I opened my mouth to speak, The bell rang. It saved me. I sat there for the next 6 hours counting down the minutes until I could finally go home. When I got home, I went straight to my room and locked the door. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to eat dinner. All I wanted to do was crawl into bed and pull the covers over my head. But as I was lying there trying to fall asleep, I realized that I still had one more assignment to finish. It was due tomorrow, and I hadn't even started it yet. I got out of bed and walked over to my desk. Maybe I could work on it in the morning. Yeah! That was probably a good idea. Just get some sleep now and then start working on it when you get up. But then I thought to myself, what if I didn't turn it in? What if I just didn't go back to school ever again? I imagined what it would be like to be free from all the stress and pressure of exams and grades and teachers. It would be nice, actually. But then I thought about how much my parents had sacrificed to give me the opportunity to go to school. They worked hard, saved money, moved to a new city. I couldn't let them down. I had to at least try to graduate. So I pulled out my laptop and started working on my assignment. And as the hours passed, I realized that something had changed. I wasn't as upset as I used to be. In fact, I was almost enjoying this. Sure, I was tired and hungry and I really wanted to go to sleep, but I liked being focused on a task. I liked the feeling of accomplishment that came with each completed sentence. I wasn't going to let my teachers or my parents down. I was going to graduate. And that's when I heard a noise at my window. Someone was trying to get in. I quickly hid my laptop and waited. The window opened and a girl I knew from school climbed in. "I need your help," she whispered. "My parents are fighting again and I don't want to go home." "Okay," I said. "You can stay here, but you have to be quiet. My parents are already asleep." She nodded and we spent the rest of the night talking and playing video games. In the morning, I walked her back to her house, and on the way, I noticed that I was smiling. For the first time in a long time, I felt like things were finally looking up. I was going to graduate. I was going to go to college. And I was going to be okay.